there, folks, and welcome back to another edition of our venture in the visual novel If My Heart Had Wings Flight Diary. We have finally completed the chapters involving Kaneko Shigure and Aoi. And let me tell you, it was quite romantic and whatnot, but it's like, bruh, you left your girlfriend at the restaurant and she had no way to pay for the stuff. I'm like, I get it that you needed to resolve the things between Yoru and Asa, but you don't leave your girlfriend over there. Now, of course, she forgave him, but it's like, but there's still gonna be some consequence over this. So, folk, remember, keep the priorities in order, okay? Keep the priorities in order, because you don't want to mess that up. You do not want to mess that up. All right, so with that, we're gonna move on to the next one. All right, so what we have here now is we've done this, which was Kotori. We've done this, which is the Kazuto sisters. We've done this with the Kaneko. And now next looks like it's Hotaru Himegi, who happens to be Ageha Himegi's sister. So let's see how this turns out. Yeah. All right, everyone. Let's see where this goes. The surface of the lake was rippling with waves, while sparkling in sunlight. Below, a thick carpet of grass was gently swaying in the breeze. A white object slipped into view, gracefully buffeted by the wind. Sorry, folks, I'm actually doing a lot here. A machine of pure white, brimming with a power all of its own. The runway was clear. They shouted out signals, clearing the glider for takeoff. They couldn't help tensing up a little. I wonder who this is. The time had finally come. The winch cable pulled taut, and the frame began to move, gathering speed. The next moment, it left the green grasses of the earth behind and soared into the wild blue yonder. I figured it was her. Hotaru craned her neck up. All she could see were those white wings rising into the sky. The wind took them right over the lake, going higher and higher. The pilot adjusted the angle of the wings and began to circle back. She saw the glider bob and weave, stark and shining against the sky. Leveling out, it caught another breeze and started rising again. It was so high, it was almost unreal, she thought. She thought at this rate, it looked like it would just keep going up. Further and further across the vast, beautiful sky. She thought it was so pretty. I gotta say, that is a pretty cool song. I really like the musical structure of it. Inexpressible emotion. Hotaru. What do we got here? Agaha's voice called her away from the sky and back down to earth.
もしもし、葵、聞こえる？いい感じのが取れたわ。ありがとね。でも素材にもう何カットか欲しいから戻ってきてくれる？お願いね。ホタル、今のよかったよ。ほんと？よかった。表情も顔の上げ方も最高。文句なし。ただ風がね、もうちょっとこう髪やスカートがたなびいてくれると完璧だったんだけど。
Oh boy.
別撮りして合成するのはどうですか？それは最後の手段ね。まだ時間はあるし、天気もいいし、もう何回かやってみてからにしよう。
Today, Hotaru was helping out the Soaring Club that Agaha and Aoi were a part of. Their eventful summer vacation had come to an end, and they all had started a new semester. Aoi was already thinking about the future. If the club didn't get more members next year, it would have to shut down. To stop that from happening, they needed to attract new members. So they'd been putting together some publicity material. Hotaru was sure Hotaru was sure if freshmen could see the gliders in action, they would all want to join. But since the skies were so calm in spring and there was no wind, that wasn't really an option. Instead, they were making a video to show off the very best of the Soaring Club experience. At this time of the year, the lush greenery and clear skies were just begging to be filmed. They had figured it would be the perfect time to get some footage and would really entice new members for the next year.
それじゃあホタル、もうすぐ戻ってくるから、そしたらもう一回行くよ。はーい。
This was like a part-time job for her. Aga asked her to model for the video. Hotaru was surprised to watch the glider in the sky and looked very impressed. Originally, Agaha and Kotori both wanted to play this part.
まあ、新入生の諸君にはこの私に見とれてもらうとしましょうか。別にやりたいわけではないのだけどね。部長としてこういう時はやらないわけにはいかないでしょ。
But after some discussion, it was decided that using someone who wasn't already a member would make the club more accessible. So in the end, they asked Hotaru to do it. Hotaru wiped aside some sweat. Technically, it was almost fall, but the sun was still just as intense as it had been in the height of summer.
まだまだ暑いね。
Agaha fanned her face with her hand.
空の上はどうなんだろう。上も暑そうだけど涼しいのかな。羨ましいな。
Hotaru looked up at the sky again. The glider continued to roll and turn, gradually getting bigger as it came into land.
さーて着陸だ。みんな準備して。
Agaha, Asa, and Yoru detached themselves from the camera crew and went into action, each one of them knowing exactly what to do. Hotaru just stood and watched. It was all she could do. She watched as the glider approached, bringing Aoi back down to the ground. The view outside the canopy started to change from sky to land, and soon enough, I made contact with the ground. There was the initial shock of impact followed by lots of shaking afterwards. I could feel myself decelerating. I knew I was back on solid ground. It was comforting to have something underneath me again. You just didn't get the same sense of stability in the air. Phew. Coming to a complete stop, I heaved a sigh of relief. Landing safely had taken all my concentration, but now I could finally relax a little.
お疲れ。異常ない？
Yeah, no problems.
こっちは準備 OK。狙いつけてるわよ。いける？
Kotori, you okay?
ちょっと待って。髪が。OK。
Okay, here we go. Can I get a countdown?
それじゃあ行くわよ。10秒前。9、8、7、6、5、4。
I counted down the last 3 seconds in my head. And on 0, I released the canopy lock. Kotori moved her head, allowing the wind to play with her hair a little. The film club students began shooting, capturing Kotori in this poignant pose from all kinds of different angles. We were shooting for a promotional video we planned to use next spring. Ageha had pulled some strings and got some people from the film club to help us out. As you'd expect of students from an engineering school like ours, they all handled their equipment like seasoned pros. Of course, they weren't doing it for free. We'd have to return the favor and help them with some of their activities too. Apparently, they were all eager to get footage of the glider in action. It was flattering, really. How could we say no? For me, whenever I saw the glider in the sky, I could barely take my eyes off it. I wanted to share that feeling with others. Okay, wait a minute. Is this Kotori now? Oh, no, this is probably still Ali's perspective. That's where the promo video came in. Do you think that's enough now?
もういいわよ。小鳥、お疲れ様。
Kotori smoothed her hair back while I climbed down out of the cockpit. Here we go. With everyone's help, we pushed the glider to another spot. Once there, we brought over Kotori's wheelchair and prepared to move her into it. That made for even better shots.
青い自然にして。あんまり格好つけない。
I wasn't posing. This is normal for me.
変にキリッとしてるわよ。いつもの葵でいいんだって。
I guess I must have been nervous around the cameras.
ね、ここでちょっとしたお芝居はどう？下ろしてもらうときに見つめ合ってから揃って空を見上げるの。
Okay, then.
そこでナレーション入れるのよ。君もソアリング部に入ってあの大空へ青春の翼を広げよう。ダメだって。
Okay, then.
相変わらずのセンスね。何よ、いいじゃない。はい、いいと思います。ダメよ、朝ちゃん。侵食されちゃう。人を腐食性薬品みたいに言わないでくれる。あははは。まったくもう。そんじゃあ葵、一休みしたらもうひとっ飛びお願いね。
Sure.
英検さんから夕方の空を飛ぶところを撮りたいってリクエスト来てるけど、いけるかな？
The weather looks like it'll hold up, so that should be fine. How about we take it in turns until then?
それいいね。やった。まあ、今日の天候なら問題ないでしょ。
Everyone was having fun. Huh? Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed someone standing around a little ways away. Hotaru, do you want to give it a try?
いいよ、私は。部員じゃないし、その、英検の人を乗せた方が。
Alright, if you say so. Hotaru was always so shy, like she was afraid to get involved. Even when we were kids, she'd usually trail along behind me. She probably wouldn't even have come here today if Ageha hadn't been here too. I'd known her so long, I was used to it. But I kinda wish she'd try to get to know some of the other club members. If everyone else has had a turn and we still have time, then you can have a go.
あー、ホタル。夕方の一番綺麗なとこ狙ってるな。え？一番綺麗な。
Hotaru turned her eyes skywards. She was probably trying to imagine the sky not as it is now, but dyed in the purple and blue shades of twilight. I thought about how the sky would look then, climbing into the glider and setting off into that world of vibrant color.
どうした？図星だろ。ずるいぞ、ホタル。一番いいとこ狙うなんて。そんなことないよ。
Hey, if that's what you want, I don't mind taking you up. Think of it as thanks for helping us today.
どうするの？私もホタルが乗りたいって言うなら別にいいんだけど。それは、
Hotaru muttered quietly. Why was she so scared? If she wanted to go, she should just come out and say it.
おい！撮らせてほしいんだけど、いいか？
はい。葵も来て。
Right.
いってらっしゃい。
Hotaru waved, sending us off with a smile that looked slightly relieved. We headed off to help the film club get their footage of the glider while it was still grounded. Some of them got on top of some high scaffolding and shot it from up high. At one point, we had to move the glider to get the lake in the background. A little later, we were ready for another flight. After all this time, I still love the sky. This time, Kotori took the front seat. Then Asa and Yoru took their turns. Somehow, they convinced the film club to lend them a camera so they could shoot from the air.
おー、いい感じ。地上撮りたいから旋回してくれる？
Sure. I tilted the glider's wings. This new angle gave us a wide, spreading view of both the lake and the Kazegawa townscape.
ズーム！おー、人が見える見える！はっ、ホタル発見！
The picture's that clear?
顔は無理だよ。でもあの子、いつもみんなから少し離れて立ってるから。
Ageha probably didn't mean anything by that, but it made me worry a little. In front of me, the sky lit up with colors as the sun started to sink below the horizon.
それじゃあラストフライト！夕暮れの離陸と着陸ね。葵、行ける？
And we'll see how that twilight takeoff happens on the next episode. Oh, goodness, the cliffhangers. And we'll see if Hotaru decides to join. So with that, we're going to end it there. Want to thank everyone for watching this video this time around. New chapter in this after so long. So actually quite excited to see what else they got in this novel. So if you like what you saw this time around, maybe consider leaving a like. And if you'd like to see more, maybe consider subscribing if you haven't already. And until next time, happy mixing, everyone.